ओम तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सिद्धबुद्ध तु स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तु साई सविता पावक तु ब्रह्ममज तु यहोवा शक्ति तु येशु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विष्णु तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीम ताओ तु साई रहीम ताओ तु वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरि तु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु साई आत्मलिंग शिव तु गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
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 गजमुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गजमुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गजमुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गजमुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
पाद नमस्ते गजानना
पाद नमस्ते गजानना
तव पाद नमस्ते गजानना
पाद नमस्ते गजानना
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
गजमुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गज मुख वरदा गणपति ओम
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मूषिक वाहन गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
मोदक हस्ता गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
परम निरंजन गजानना
पाद नमस्ते गजानना
पाद नमस्ते गजानना
तव पाद नमस्ते गजानना
तव पाद नमस्ते गजानना
गणपति ओम जय गणपति ओम
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः अनन्तमव्ययं कविगुं समुद्रेऽन्तं विश्वशम्भुवम् पद्मकोशप्रतीकाशगुं हृदयं चाप्यदोमुखम् अगो निष्ट्यावितस्यान्ते नाभ्यामुपरि तिष्ठति ज्वालमालाकुलं भाति विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सन्ततगुं शिलाभिस्तुलम्बत्याकोशसन्निभम् तस्यान्ते सुशिरगुं सूक्ष्मं तस्मिन् सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम् तस्य मध्ये महानग्निर्विश्वाचिर्विश्वतोमुखः सोऽग्रभुग्विभजन् तिष्ठन्नाहारमजरः कविः तिर्यगूर्ध्वमदशायी रश्मयस्तस्य सन्तता सन्तापयति स्वं देहमापादतलमस्तकः तस्य मध्ये वह्निशिखा अणियोर्ध्वा व्यवस्थितः नीरतो यदमध्यस्ताद्विद्युल्लेखे भास्वरा नीवारशूकवत्तन्वी पीताभास्वत्यनुपमा तस्याः शिखाया मध्ये परमात्मा व्यवस्थितः स ब्रह्म स शिवः स हरिसेन्द्रः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् ऋतुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ओम श्री साईराम। मरचितिवेमो मधिलो मम्हु साईनाथा प्रभुवा ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा, ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा। मरुगु चेरितिमि ममु धरि चेर्चुमु, मरुगु चेरितिमि ममु धरि चेर्चुमु, मानितवर प्रभुवा कनवा साईनाथ प्रभुवा। मरचितिवेमो मधिलो मम्हु साईनाथ प्रभुवा, ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा, ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा। व्याधुलतोडल बाधल नंदल, व्याधुलतोडल बाधल नंदल, व्यथలను भडुते विधिया माकु, व्यथలను भडुते विधिया माकु। ఈధర పాపంబును భరింప, ఈధర పాపంబును భరింప, వెలసితివట దేవా కనవా సాయినాథ ప్రభువా, ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा, ओ साईनाथ प्रभुवा। ఆపద్బాంధవుడల్ చువిల్టిల్ ఆధరిల్ చమని వేడుకొల్టిల్, ఆపద్బాంధవుడల్ చువిల్టిల్ ఆధరిల్ చమని వేడుకొల్టిల్, మాపై నీ కృప చూపుమటంటిల్, మాపై నీ కృప చూపుమటంటిల్, మము విడనాడగ చూసెదవా సాయినాథ ప్రభువా, ఓ సాయినాథ ప్రభువా, ఓ సాయినాథ ప్రభువా. ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్. Offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. I am grateful to Bhagwan for giving me this opportunity to talk for the second consecutive week. For somebody who was scared of coming in front of the mic, Swami is making me talk for the second consecutive week. That goes a long way to show how Bhagwan's training seems to have worked on me. There are two things which Swami continuously emphasized that are required for this Kali Yuga. That is, one is Namasmarana, other is Seva. Lord Rama in Treta Yuga, he did and expected people to understand that and then follow him. Whereas Lord Krishna, he proclaimed it and expected people to understand that and follow him. Whereas Sai Krishna, he constantly told us and also was there with us and did along with us and made us do. So we have the greatest good fortune of being constantly tutored by the Lord himself, and for all that we do, we keep hearing that there is a Palaspati for each of the slokas that we chant. Bhagwan also has given one Palaspati for the service that we do. In one of the interviews with one of our hospital boys had, Bhagwan said that when you work for me, I'll take care of your 7 generations. This statement seems to have come true in my life for the last 4 generations. I would like to narrate some of the instances to prove this point. When Bhagwan had sent me to the US, one day suddenly my Swami came to the portico and called my brother and was telling something to him, saying that just now your father had an accident and the car has pultied 3 times, but nothing happened to you. I took care of him. Just one small scratch was there on his forehead. After the evening program, my brother called my father. Probably it was just 10 minutes after that, after his conversation with Swami. And then my father said that he just came out of that accident while he was traveling in a Maruti Omni. He suddenly found that the wheels of the car were moving faster than the car. Then he was wondering whose wheels were that, and in no time the car started doing the somersault. And on the highway we find this situation where the road is on the top and there is a big slope on either side. So the car has rolled onto that slope and did 3 somersaults and came back on the front again. Many of the people who are around, they came running and they pulled out my father. And as Swami said, Swami had given him a 3-diamond ring previously. One of the diamonds was missing in that, and there was no injury at all except a scratch, as Swami told. We were very grateful to Bhagwan for this. And then the time passed. After the Mahasamadhi, the first major festival was the Guru Purnima in 2011. The entire mood in the Kurvant hall was very sober because we were missing our Bhagwan. And these same thoughts were running in my mind, saying that if only we had him, now we'll be so happy. We are missing him. At that same point, Radio Sai played a video, which I think may have been played just now by our AV team, wherein Bhagwan called somebody, and in my mind I thought, looks like Swami is calling my brother. And my brother comes there, and then this sequence of events happen. At the same time, my brother was watching the live stream in the US, and he also had the same thought that he is missing Swami. And the next moment he finds that Swami is calling him and then talking to him. This only goes on to prove that he has not got anywhere. He is there with us, and he is listening to each and every one of our thoughts. He knows them and he reacts to it to prove that he is there with us and he is not gone anywhere. Later, when I asked our Radio Sai brothers that how did they get this video, because it's been quite almost close to 10 years and this video hadn't come out anywhere. And also, it was not a festival day. It was regular darshan and somebody actually shot it. So, Bhagwan's planning is such that he does things well in advance so that at the right point they appear. As we go along, I'll narrate few more incidents which point towards this fact. The second incident I want to narrate is that after I joined Vrindavan hospital, one day I had, during the summer time, I had gone home for vacation. I took leave and went. And generally, from Vrindavan, there is a train called Seshadri, which stops in Vijayawada, where I get off at 3 a.m. early in the morning. So I got off the train, and my father had sent his car along with the driver. And it was very early in the morning. I was still feeling sleepy. So I sat in the back seat, and I fell asleep onto the window of the car. Probably after an hour or so, suddenly I found that the entire world was revolving. I didn't know what was happening. But I knew that something has happened. There was a loud noise of something hitting the car. And then I started shouting, Sai, Sai. And as I shouted it, Swami's name, the car suddenly stopped all of a sudden. And then I got off the car and I saw that there was a huge truck which had hit the car exactly at the same point where I was putting my head on the window. And the size of the truck was so huge that the car could have got crushed. Then the truck driver came down running and asked, who is in the car, who is in the car? I said, I was only there in the car. Then he said, sir, I have had this incident in my driving career 5 times. Nobody has survived. There must be some power which is protecting you. That's why you have survived. And when I don't have that picture, unfortunately, I misplaced it somewhere. The portion of the car that got crushed was exactly to the place where Bhagwan's Abhayhastam was there on the windshield. Till that, the car had got crushed, but I didn't have even a scratch on my body. We went for the vacation and came back, and in the darshan, Swami just looked and smiled at me to acknowledge that he took care of me. The second life-saving incident that I had faced was in 2008. By then I had a car. Generally, I go in my car to Parthi for Swami's darshan. That particular time, there was nobody, none of the hospital boys were coming along. So I thought it will be waste of money to go on my own to Parthi in the car. It was approximately the same time as the Vrindavan bus, Whitefield bus which goes to Parthi was going. So I parked my car in the ashram and went and got into the bus. In that day, for some strange reason, there was nobody else in the bus except around 18 of hospital staff in the bus. And other devotees, some people were there. Since I decided late, so I got a seat just next to the driver. There's a small bench which is there. So I was sitting there. The bus started going towards Buddhagiri side. As it entered that Buddhagiri, after crossing all those industries and all those areas, suddenly the bus started going off-road. Then I looked at the scene. The driver had fits and he was lying flat on the wheel and he was shaking violently. And in that process, he was pressing hard on the accelerator and the wheel was turning because of the fits. And the bus was going straight towards a live electric pole. And I didn't know any other thing except to chant Sai Ram, Sai Ram. And as I chanted that, the bus went and hit the pole. There was a lot of fireworks. Diwali is around the corner. And somebody seemed to have pulled off the wires from the main this thing. So the wires came off and then everything stopped. And the bus stopped as if somebody braked and stopped it. When we got down from the bus, I realized that there was a big ditch, construction ditch which was there. And the bus wheel was just 1 feet away from that ditch. If the wheel which got turned, if it turned little more, it would have been in the ditch. Or if the wire wouldn't have got pulled off, the entire bus would have got electrocuted. It just goes to show that He is there to protect us. No matter which, Swami keeps saying that wherever you are, either on the mountain or in the valley or anywhere, He'll take care of us, and He showed it that day. And some of the senior doctors were there, Dr. Kolli Chalam and and one more of the radiologist who is there in the picture. Then the next incident which I want to narrate is about my wife's delivery. She has very low pain tolerance, in the sense that whenever we went to meet the gynecologist, Dr. Jaya Bhatt, she used to keep saying, "Auntie, please do C-section for me, cesarean for me, because I cannot bear the pain of natural delivery." They kept saying, "Don't worry, there are advanced technology available wherein we can give an epidural injection and then you won't feel the pain." The day had arrived for the delivery, and then she had started developing some pain. So we went to the general hospital. The doctor was doing a C-section at that time for another lady, and my wife kept saying, "Please go and talk to the doctor and see that I get a C-section done." But the doctor said, "No, the baby is in a perfect shape, so we should not attempt any surgery on that." And then the anesthetist, Dr. Geeta, she said that, "I have the epidural injection ready, you don't worry. As soon as the pain start increasing, we will give it, don't worry," she said. By the time the doctor finished her C-section, earlier C-section, and came to see her, to examine her, she found that the baby was already coming out. So they rushed her to the labor room. And at that point, somehow it happened that there were 6 of the general hospital doctors who were around there. All of them went into the labor room and they started chanting Sai Gayatri. And before they could put her properly on the labor table, the baby had already come out. And in midst of all this thing, Dr. Geeta didn't get time to give the epidural injection. The pain that my wife thought will come during the delivery process, Bhagwan removed that pain and made the delivery effortless. The next instance I would like to narrate is about my mother. One day she had called saying that she had a pain in her abdomen, and then one of the radiologists who was in our hometown, she did a scan and said that there is a mass in the uterus and it needs to be removed immediately, otherwise it will be a danger to the life. So my father had called me and I spoke to Dr. Jaya Bhatt, and she said, "Let them come here." So immediately they got into the next train and came to our hospital. Dr. Jaya Bhatt had ordered some tests, mainly the cancer markers and then FNAC and then the ultrasound and other things. Dr. Sunita, who was our chief radiologist at that point, she did the ultrasound, and I was waiting outside. Ultrasound generally takes 10 to 15 minutes, and then it was almost an hour. They were not coming out. So I was very worried. What's happening? Why is it taking so long? After some time, Dr. Sunita came, because the radiologist in my hometown, she had made a pictorial description of the location of the tumor in the uterus and the size and all those things. And she said that the uterus seems perfectly normal, and since this radiologist had actually drawn and given, so let us do a CT scan. And she took her to CT scan, and in the CT scan also there was absolutely no tumor that was seen. And then the tumor markers all came negative. So Dr. Jaya Bhatt said, "It looks like Swami has cancelled that cancer that was supposed to be there, so she can go back." And my mother went back. After a couple of years, all of a sudden, I got a call from Dr. Jaya Bhatt saying that today morning while I was praying, I got this thought in my mind that I should call your mother and examine her again. So my mother, they came down to Vrindavan, and then Dr. Jaya Bhatt examined her again and ordered few tests like FNAC, ultrasound and other things. And this time when the FNAC was done, our pathologist, Dr. Nandita, she reviewed the slide and then raised a red flag saying that the cells seem to be turning cancerous. They are in the pre-cancerous stage. So Dr. Jaya Bhatt said, let us go ahead and remove the uterus. So the uterus was removed and then she is perfectly fine now. So at a point when there was actually cancer, Bhagwan cancelled it. Probably in her karma, she had to have cancer. And when it was becoming cancerous, Swami ensured that the uterus is removed so that she doesn't have to go through that entire process again. Another incident was about my father. He has been diabetic for the last 10 years, and when he came to be with me for a few days, we just out of precaution, we just went to see the ophthalmologist to just see how as a regular checkup. So the ophthalmologist saw the eye and said, no, the cataract has developed in both the eyes, so we need to remove the cataract. And they said that you can wait for few more months, or you can get it done as soon as possible. What they gave the option to us. And as we are going out, she called us back in again and said, let me just dilate and see the retina. So that was Saturday afternoon. So she dilated, and after 15 minutes when she saw, she was very surprised. She said, Uncle, are you having any vision loss or the flashes of light that are coming in your eyes? She said, no, I don't have any. She said, there's a big retina detachment which is there, and that has to be done immediately. This was in the left eye. If you don't attend to it quickly, then you may lose your vision in that eye. So I spoke to Dr. Hemant Murthy, and he said that we didn't have any retina specialist in the hospital at that point. So he said, come immediately, we will do it. So we went to the retina clinic, and they did the laser and then rectified it. And even that the senior retina specialist who was there, she was surprised that my father didn't face any of the symptoms for the large size of the detachment that was there. So we thought Swami protected us, and then we came back. Subsequently, because the left eye had that issue, they said we will do the right eye first, and they did the right eye cataract. And after a couple of months, they said we should do the left eye. So when the left eye turn came, the doctor, they did a phaco replacement, and there is a 1 in a million chance that while the phaco is being done, the suction may pull off some portion of the covering behind also. In addition to the lens that it sucks out, there is a possibility that because of the suction pressure, the wall behind the lens also may get punctured. And in this case, in my father's case, it happened. So there was a puncture, and then some of the debris of that the lens fell inside, and then he became partially blind in that eye. The left eye he couldn't see anything. So they said that we will give steroids, and after a week we will take up for retinal surgery. And Dr. Kavita had joined by then. She's our senior retina specialist. And the day of surgery, they suddenly found that there was a specific attachment that is required for the microscope that was missing. So they were wondering how to do it. Should they go to some other hospital? They were just wondering when one of the representatives of a company called saying that, Madam, we want to give a demo of the exactly same piece, that was required for the surgery. Can we come and give? We are just waiting outside the hospital. And so they said, no, please come immediately. And they came and they fixed it. It was perfect. And the surgery started. Dr. Kavita said that as they were opening the retina, the particles which had gone inside, they started floating out. And she was very surprised because she expected it to be very hard surgery, but the surgery went on very smooth. There's one picture which you can show. At that time I was sitting in Swami's room praying, and there's a picture of Swami in the Swami's room where the dining hall is there, where we had put a robe onto the Swami's picture. And at that point, suddenly I noticed that in the left eye of Swami, there was a small scratch that had developed. And at the same time, I was thinking, why this has come. And Dr. Kavita called from OT saying that the surgery has been successful. So at a point, he had a retinal tear in his eye and he was to lose the vision. Swami ensured that it got detected and it got corrected. But still, in his karma, there was this thing that there should be a retinal tear in the left eye, and it happened during the surgery. And Swami ensured that that got corrected. Now he has perfect vision in both his eyes. And this goes to show that there's nothing which is impossible for Swami. Everything is under his control. Another incident that comes to my mind is about my grandfather. We have a peculiar problem which Swami also had mentioned in some of the discourses, that several parts of Andhra, there's a lot of this fluorosis. As a result, many people develop this the locking of the knees, and it becomes extremely painful for them to walk. So my grandfather and all his siblings, all of them had this issue. Actually, more than 90% of the village have this problem. Just then, our orthopedic department in Puttaparthi had opened. So my grandfather asked, can something be done for my leg? And I asked Swami, grandfather is complaining of pain in the leg, what should we do? Then Swami told that you take to the hospital and get a knee replacement done. And Dr. Vardachari, the doctor from the US, he was there at that point, and he operated. And the first knee was successful, and subsequently the second knee also was successful. Now it is close to 15 years. Generally the knee replacement life is around 10 years. Post that, the implant starts eroding the bone, and then there is a requirement for a secondary replacement that happens. He is now 85 years. All his siblings, all of them are having heavy problems. They have got it done elsewhere. They had to have re-surgery done. 15 years, Swami's grace, he still walks around without any problem, and sometimes we had to stop him because he starts climbing guava trees and plucking guavas and all that. But 85 years, Swami has given him perfect health. Another thing I need to tell is about my grandmother. I think she was the first one who had Swami's darshan. A very funny story in the sense that she didn't know who Swami was, but some of the people in our hometown, they were coming to have Swami's darshan. So she joined them. She was old, she didn't have any responsibilities. So she joined them and came to Parthi. And she's illiterate, she doesn't know anything else other than Telugu. And she got lost from the group in the darshan ground, and she happened to get a first line. So she was sitting there. Swami came and called some people for interview. And then she also got up and started walking into the interview room. At the interview room door, Swami asked, "Ever pilchar ninnu?" he asked. So then he said, "Emo Swami, they were coming, also came." Swami smiled and said, "Okay, you go, go inside." So she went into the interview room. Swami spoke to her and asked, "What do you want?" She said, "Swami, please take care of my family. One of my maternal uncle, he was mentally challenged right from birth." So she asked about him, and she said, Swami said, "He is an evolved soul. You just take care of him, don't worry. I'll take care of the remaining." So the day my maternal uncle passed away, I was in Parthi at the time. My grandparents were here. There was no phone at that time. My parents were here, and he was alone at home with a servant. He started climbing onto he has a habit that he'll climb onto anything. So he climbed onto a parapet wall and he had a fall. And because there was no phones, nobody could inform us. I was sitting in the bhajan hall. Swami came and asked how are things at home. Then I didn't know anything, so I said, "Swami, they are fine." He said, "No, ask your grandmother to go back home." So when they went back, they found that he had a fall from the top of the building, and he had a major head injury, and he passed away. And Swami said, "He has reached me, don't worry." So my grandmother, to tell about her, Bhagwan has blessed her with many diseases, in the sense that she has passed out many times, and then like a phoenix, she has come back. And we didn't know, doctors couldn't figure out what is the problem with her. And one day when she was in our campus, she had the same issue. And then our cardiologist could diagnose that she had a weak heart, and it required a pacemaker. And Swami's grace, the pacemaker was done immediately. And since then, she has been very healthy. Then the next story I want to tell about is my son. Before all this pandemic began, sometime in in January, he was complaining of pain in a portion of his body, and then we showed the doctors. And then the doctors said that it looks like there is a herniation that has happened, and but there is no hurry, we can do it during the holidays. So we thought April we will get the surgery done. And then suddenly one of the doctors who had left from here, she had called. She was a general surgeon. And she said, "Why don't you go ahead and get it done? Though he may miss classes for a few days, but why you have that worry in your background?" I don't know why she called, because she had left the hospital and she was in Gulf working. So we spoke to the doctor next day, and the doctor said, "I'm coming, coming Tuesday I'll come, we'll do the surgery." So about my son, as any children, they're even scared of even a needle prick. Whenever we take for vaccination, the full hospital will be heard of his cries. And we were wondering how he's going to take this. But somehow he picked up that he's going to have a surgery, and he was happily telling it to his friends that I'm going to have a surgery on this date. So we were wondering, like, even for a injection he's going to cry, like he's boasting about his surgery now. So the surgery day had come. So that day morning when the nurse came to give the injection, the full hospital could hear his cries, and he was in a very bad mood and started shouting. But when we said about surgery, he was saying, "Yeah, I'll go for surgery. And they took him into the operating room. And this what he narrated. He is just 8 years old. He is in second grade now. This is what he narrated at that point, that when they put one mask for him to give sedation, and he was falling asleep, and at that point he suddenly saw Swami. he has always been complaining that you people all had darshan of Swami, but I am not able to have his darshan. Why is he not showing himself to me? So at that point, he said that he suddenly saw Swami standing next to him and saying, "Don't worry, I am there with you." And then Swami placed his hand on his forehead. And at that point, he said that he saw, he's a very small kid, he said, "I saw 70 gods who were going one after another in front of my eyes. And within no time, the surgery was done. It's a small procedure. The surgery was done and he came to the ward and he started telling all these things." So we were very surprised that such a small boy is able to say those things. Now if we count my grandparents, my parents, myself, my son, it's 4 generations already. Swami has taken care and ensured that we are happy and healthy. So whatever Swami says has to come true. There is no second thoughts on it. One of the things I told earlier was I was very introvert. I never even got up to answer in the classes during my studies, either in Vrindavan or Puttaparthi. So, and during the process, Swami sort of made me come out of that thing by asking me questions during interviews and making everybody else keep quiet and asking me to answer those questions. So, after I came back from the US, the first day that Swami told us to go and join the hospital, I got up and told Swami, "Swami, this responsibility you are giving is such a big one. Please give me the strength to handle that responsibility." Then one statement which Swami made was very profound. He said, "When I give you responsibility, you don't need to pray to me for the strength. That will come automatic." Over a period of time, I have realized that though my capabilities are not much, but he has ensured that the appropriate thoughts and skills come to me at the time they are required. I'd like to narrate few instances that have happened in the hospital which goes to show this. The nursing college, Swami had announced in 1993 in the Guru Purnima that he wants to start a nursing college. That was after the starting of Puttaparthi Hospital. And he had told in the discourse, I was in my, I think, probably 10th class at that time in Parthi, and in the discourse he had mentioned the qualities that the nurse should have, and that thing sort of got into my subconscious, and then for some reason or other it never happened. There were 3 occasions where Swami had brought this up with the hospital authorities that we should have a nursing college, and due to various regulatory issues and all that, it never happened. And one day I was closing the office and going back for lunch. Then I forgot something, so I went back into the office to pick up that thing. And those days, the World Space Radio used to come on the speakers of the hospital. And as I was picking up that thing, this particular clip of the discourse, just that portion, started playing on the overhead speakers, and I somehow felt that it was Swami who was talking to me and who was, and I could recollect the exact thing as if like I had listened to it, and it was a 10th class, you don't remember much as you sing, but I was able to recollect the entire sequence. And then that day afternoon I spoke to Dr. Safaya, who was the director, that why don't we start a nursing college? I just heard that discourse. Then he said, we have made several attempts, but it has not happened for some reason. If you feel that you should take it up, why don't you take it up? So next day I went to Rajiv Gandhi University to just find out what are the thing whether we can do it in our own institute. And they said that institute should have medical faculty for taking up BSc nursing course. So then Dr. Hegde took over as the director because Dr. Safaya went to Parthi. And when he was going to, Dr. Hegde was going to meet Swami, I shared this thought with him that why don't we request Swami. And in one of our Sai Sannidhi meets also, Swami gave me an opportunity to speak about the hospital to him for close to 40 minutes or so. And in that, one of the things I asked is, Swami, can we start paramedical? And he said, Manchidi Cheyandi. So I said that this is what Swami had also given blessings for it. Why don't you ask Swami? So he went and approached Swami and said, Swami, we want to start the nursing college. What do you think about it? Swami was very happy. He said, you give an advertisement in Sanatan Sarathi for principal and then start the process. This was sometime in probably in February or so, around March. And when we came back from Parthi, we approached the Rajiv Gandhi University and they said that, sir, you should have applied it the previous August, you should apply for starting something this year. And then we thought, okay, we'll request the Vice Chancellor of the university if there is any option. So when we went to meet the Vice Chancellor happened to be Dr. Hegde's patient whom he had operated earlier. And he was very glad that the institute such as Satya Sai is wanting to start a nursing college. So he said that I will make a special request to the Senate to approve this application. So something which started in March, by June we started the course. And I think this is also like as usual with Swami, though we start anything at a later point of time, but it happens very early. So this was, I think this still is the record in Rajiv Gandhi University for starting a college within 3 months' time. And Swami ensured that the exact number of teachers required to start, the principal, the vice principal, all of them walked in, seeing the ad in Sanatan Sarathi, and they perfectly fitted that the experience required for this process. Swami blessed the students that we had taken admission, and we started the course, and now we are into 10th year of the nursing college. At that point, none of us knew how to start a college, but Swami gave the right thoughts and the right directions and then made it happen. Another incident I would like to narrate about this thing, when I had said earlier that whatever Swami wants to happen in the future, he already puts a seed for it in the ahead of time. So just before I went to the US, in one of the interviews, he had made a comment saying that you go and study and come back. Once you come back, I will shift the general hospital to this campus, he said. And that was, we thought it was a passing remark. And I had forgotten about it. And the time had passed. Dr. Swarna Bharadwaj in 2015. Out of a blue, I just asked her, Madam, for some reason, Swami seemed to have given us more operating theatres than which is actually being used now. So why can't we ask some of the surgeries like orthopedic or something which require this level of infrastructure to happen here? So he said, it's a good thought, so let us put it up to trust. And trust said, no, there is no need to do that because we would, it was one of the major component of the general hospital surgeries. So they said, no, we'll return it there. So we left that project. Exactly after 2 months or so, from the GH itself, there was a proposal saying that the General Hospital building has grown very organically. It was not a planned expansion in the sense that it started off as a single room hospital, and then the different parts got added to it to make it a big hospital. And then because of the passage of time, there were some leakages that have developed. And the land didn't belong to trust. For some reason, Swami, though it was Swami's land, he had given it to the Dr. Rajeshwari at that point. And when their family said, Swami, please take back, when the hospital was taken over by the Central Trust, they offered the land also, but Swami said, you keep the land. So for that reason, the land didn't belong to us, but the building needed a lot of repairs, and the estimate was close to 4 to 5 crores to do it. Another reason was there's a highway that's going to come in front of the hospital, and the government wanted to acquire close to 10 meters in, so which will essentially mean that the entire hospital needed to be rebuilt. So when they approached Trust, they said that Super Specialty Hospital also had come with this proposal. So let's have a meeting, and then we made a proposal. I haven't done any hospital planning as such, as a course or in an experience, but when I was making the presentation to Trust, the idea started flowing that how the entire hospital could be fitted in to the existing thing by making minor adjustments, and the trust members wanted to come and physically observe that the changes that we proposed. So they had a meeting in the director's office. There's one photo of Swami, where once the meeting happened, Mr. Naganand, our trustee, he took a photograph. In one photo, there was a vibhuti that had come on Swami's palm, and so he took a photo, and then we went for the round. And by the time we came back from the round, the vibhuti quantity on the hand had increased, the size had increased. So Mr. Naganand said, it looks like Swami is in approval of our thinking, so let us put it up in the board meeting and decide. And on the day of the board meeting, the entire photograph of that particular photograph got filled with vibhuti, and the trust took a decision that it will be shifted. And the process of shifting of the general hospital also is absolutely miraculous, in the sense that it's a very difficult process to merge two working hospitals. So when we are planning for it, for some reason nobody came forward to do, because it's all work that needs to be done in a working hospital, and it is a lot of headache for the contractors, and it takes a lot of time, but there's not enough money for the contractors. So we were wondering whom Swami will send. At that point, as I was discussing with Dr. Sundaresh, I got a call from one of the persons who had made a building, who had done some construction in the hospital, and for some reason, for a few years, he hasn't done any work. So he came forward and he said, sir, my daughter has some health issue. She has scoliosis, that is, the spine is bent. So can I see consult the doctors here? So I introduced them to our neurosurgeons, and they've said that it needs to be done in 2 stages and all that. First stage can be done here. So the surgery was scheduled, and this man, he was kneeling in front of Swami in the dome, and he said, Swami, for some reason you haven't given me any work. Please give me some work in the hospital. So this happened almost simultaneously. So then I asked him, there is this proposal, will you do? He was saying, sir, just now I prayed to Swami that to give some work, and your call has come. So he said, I'll definitely do, sir. Generally, the contractors don't do any work without a work order. In this case, there's one more photo which is there, where the Vibhuti had completely filled up the full photo, and in one photo, if you notice, the one eye of the Swami has opened up, so that as that conversation was going on, behind that eye the thing fell. And then I was telling Dr. Sundaresh that Lord Tyagaraja had sung that, Rama, if you see with one eye, I can conquer the world. So it looks like the things will move, sir. Swami has opened one eye. And then this sequence of events happened, and before we could realize, this contractor, without any work order, he started doing the work, and Swami gave different ideas of how to not stop the surgeries, because all the, as you know, in super specialty hospital, the cardiac surgeries, neurosurgeries are booked for more than a year. Without any inconvenience to that, we could make changes in that operating theatre complex. Actually did civil construction without surgery stopping, and the contractor raised a bill after the inauguration, after the entire process was done. And the best part was, because he did that sacrifice, the time the inauguration was happening, that same time his daughter was getting operated for the second stage of surgery. And after the inauguration, I saw my WhatsApp, she was, the spine which was crooked had got straightened. And so Swami, because he came forward to do selflessly, Swami ensured that his daughter's spine got straightened, and he sent me pictures of his daughter walking straight. And the best part was, I was given an opportunity to do the Master of Ceremonies for that day. And I was wondering, like, what should I talk? And then that's when I remembered Swami's words, almost 20 years back, when he said, you finish your this thing and come, and I will shift the general hospital. And that was happening right that day. And then I could, because I didn't remember that till that moment, so I narrated that incident during the my talk that day. Another thing which goes to show that Swami's protection is there always at in the hospital. The hospital had, the land was given by the government for the hospital, but for some strange reason it hadn't got registered in the name of the trust. In 2011, before Mahasamadhi, Swami called one of the elders and said, you work on the registration of Bangalore hospital land. So subsequently, we did several within our reach. We contacted the KEDB officials and the government, but all of them said that there is a 50% ground coverage that is required, and we had only 33%. And to do that remaining 17%, we had to spend close to 400 crores for nothing to get the land registered, and it was seemingly impossible. Several attempts were made, but everybody started showing the rule book. And then we gave up. So it was Puri Jagannath Rath Yatra, and Dr. Das, who was our head of cardiology, he had requested that why don't we do that in the hospital. So we had a Rath Yatra festival in the hospital, and at the end of Rath Yatra, Bhagwan went around the hospital, and at that time there was a heavy downpour, and we finished it with Mangal Harati. The next day morning, when we came to the dome area, we suddenly realized that the photo which was chosen by Swami himself, there were several photos that were there, but Swami chose this particular photo. On that there was a shower of vibhuti, and the vibhuti, if you notice, it's like a cursive J to show that he is Jagannath. And that same day, it also happened to be a Muslim festival, and some of the Muslim patients said that if you read from the other side, in Khalifa language, it is Allahu, I am Allah. So we were very thrilled at this particular blessings of Bhagwan. Generally, in his institutions, we don't see much of manifestations, and here he was showing himself. So next day I was talking to our director, Dr. Swarna Bharadwaj, about Swami's blessings and all that, and then the picture which you saw earlier, that was there opposite to her. So she said, Swami seems to have, is very kind to us, Praveen, and then I went out, and within a minute she called me back again, saying, Praveen, come. So I was worried what happened, and then ran inside. When I went inside, when Swami comes for darshan, you have that beautiful fragrance that as Swami walks past you, that same fragrance was filled in the office. And she pointed to the photo, which was plain at that point, and then we could make out that there were drops of vibhuti appearing in the photo. And within that 2-3 minutes, that quite a sizable portion of the palm was filled with vibhuti. And she said that one orange light had come from the window and went into another picture of Swami, and then finally went into the palm. At that point, she suddenly saw this manifestation. We were very happy, and within 3 days, we got a call from the KADB saying that we have found a method to do the registration. So the trustees came down, and then the registration happened. Later, the person who was involved in registration, his friend had got admitted to the hospital. So when I spoke to him, thanked him for this thing, he said, no sir, I didn't know who is Sai Baba actually. One day suddenly I saw this file, and he said, why is it lying here? So there was a change of director at that point. So I took that file to him and said that this seemed to be pending for a long time. So that person said, okay, call them, we'll register. And then the efforts that we put for 5 years, which didn't fructify, and moment he announced his arrival in the hospital through that manifestation of vibhuti, within 3 days the hospital land got registered in our name, and that was just in time when there was an occasion to prove that we are the owners of that the land. Just we were attending some meetings for this metro construction, and they were asking for ownership, proof of ownership, and that's when this thing happened. There are several instances where he keeps showing that one of the things which, when Swami asked me to go to Vrindavan, Whitefield Hospital, I was protesting because we were having a lot of opportunities with Swami. And he said, you go there, I'll come there. I thought he's just saying that to make me go. And later now when we realize there are so many manifestations of Bhagwan in form of vibhuti. There's one picture which shows that for the latest Ganesh Chaturthi, there was a formation of vibhuti on Bhagwan's picture in form of Ganesha. And in one more picture, a year ago, there's a formation of the world map on the Padam, which later we realize that it looks like a world map. So it just goes to show that he is the master of the entire universe, and he's protecting us, all his institutions and all his devotees. With prayers to Bhagwan and offering my gratitude to him for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences, I would like to conclude with one small song which Bhagwan himself has written. Evari gati yatula nunduno Shri Sai Keruka Evari gati yatula nunduno Shri Baba Keruka Evari gati yatula nunduno Shri Sai Keruka Evari gati yatula nunduno Karmanu bandhamulanu Kadatroya Evari vasamu Karmanu bandhamulanu కడత్రోయ ఎవరి వశము ధర్మరాజు విరటు నిల్ట తమ్ములచే కొలవలేదా ధర్మరాజు విరటు నిల్ట తమ్ములచే కొలవలేద ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో శ్రీ సాయి కెరుక ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో నిత్య సత్యమనుభవింప సత్య హరిశ్చంద్రుడు మాటలా కొరకు తాను మాలవాని కొలవలేదా మాటలా కొరకు తాను మాలవాని కొలవలేదా ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో శ్రీ సాయి కెరుక ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో శ్రీమన్నారాయణుండు రామావతారమెత్తి ఆ మహానుభావు భార్య రావణచే దొరకలేదా ఆ మహానుభావు భార్య రావణచే దొరకలేదా ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో శ్రీ సాయి కెరుక ఎవరి గతి ఎటుల నుండునో సాయిరామ్.
Offering my pranams at Bhagavan's lotus feet. Quickly narrate a Subhashita that we learned in our first year Sanskrit. Praveen, if you remember, in our Sanskrit course we learned the Shiva Mahima Stotram. In that it goes, Asitagiri Syad Kachalam Sindhu Padram Surataru Varushaka Lekhani Patramurvi Likitva Yadi Grihitva Sharada Sarvakaleshu Tatapitava Gunanam Param Nayesha Tatapitava Gunanam Saesha Param Nayati. It is very difficult, even if the goddess Saraswati was to write the glory of the Lord, with the entire ocean being created into the ink pot and the wish-fulfilling tree as the pen and the entire earth as the paper, still your glory cannot be comprehended. And that is what we can really see from what Praveen was sharing, that there is no end to his glory. We will close this program with Mangalarti. Jai Sai Ram.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्ति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशि भगना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपति स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपति आश्रित कल्पलति शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति